I'm Nick Charles with Steve Farhood, here at a place where much of the youth of this city come to party. On this Saturday, though, the action and the thrills will begin in the ring behind us in a main event that features a native son. Steve, San Antonio welterweight Omar Davila has been beaten twice, but he's won his last 7 fights. So, when his manager, Lou Duva, looks to step him up against undefeated Kermit Cintron, it's a matchup that gets your attention.
Well, Nick, when Lou Duva shows interest in you, you pay attention because, let's face it, he's developed fighters like Evander Holyfield and Pernell Whitaker. Omar Davila, this is a test because he's fighting a fighter who's undefeated, a fellow prospect. Omar Davila is already a star here in San Antonio. Great kid, exciting fighter. What ShoBox is all about is giving him an opportunity to take that local reputation and put it on an international stage. Can Omar Davila make this jump? Well, given the quality of his opposition, I think we'll find out tonight.
Well, ShoBox fans may know something about Davila's opponent, Kermit Cintron. He told us he was flat out terrified fighting on national TV on our ShoBox card last August 18th. However, he was able to conquer his nerves and flatten Saeed Ouali in a battle of then both unbeaten welterweight prospects. Two-part question for you, Steve. Looking at it today, we've talked to Cintron last night, also before the fight today. How do you read him in terms of A, how he'll react to the glare of our cameras this time around, and B, to a hostile crowd?
Well, I'll tell you this much. Fighting in here in San Antonio against Davila, if Cintron is not loose, he will lose tonight. The bad news with Cintron, the first time we had him on, for 4 rounds, he was paralyzed. He did nothing against Ouali. In the 5th round, the good news, as soon as he started moving his hands, he scored a knockout. As Cintron has to show that loosey-goosey style from the start. There are a lot of top promoters interested in him. Don King, Frank Warren, main events. If he fights to his potential tonight, you can see why these promoters are showing such interest in this young fighter.
Yeah, we'll see how those elements play out in our 10-round welterweight main event coming up later in the hour here in San Antonio. In the meantime, we want to invite those of you with internet access to visit our website at show.com. There you'll find records and bios of tonight's fighters, as well as information on all upcoming Showtime boxing. In addition, my broadcast partner Steve Farhood will post a fight preview on the Monday prior to every ShoBox telecast, and will answer select questions from boxing fans about fighters, the state of the game, whatever. So join in on the interactive experience and log on to show.com. Once again, the address, sho.com. Now, from the Sunset Station Outdoor Pavilion here in San Antonio, we get the ball rolling with a clash of 122-pound sluggers. Undefeated Joan Guzman against Armando Guerrero in a 10-round junior featherweight attraction. 25-year-old Joan Guzman of the Dominican Republic has also appeared on ShoBox before. We watched him survive some headbutts from his opponent and some questionable moves by ringside physicians last September 29th here on the show when he pounded out a unanimous decision over Adel Ruiz. Guzman didn't get a knockout that afternoon, but he did enough for us to want to see him again. Steve, what do you see behind the numbers of a 16-0 record with 13 KOs?
Well, great tune-up. In his debut on ShoBox, Guzman went 12 rounds with Adel Ruiz. It was the first time since 1999 that he was forced to fight past the 2nd round. That was invaluable work. Sizing him up, Guzman is the bigger fighter. He's fought as high as 131 pounds, while Guerrero has never scaled more than 122. Advantage, Guzman. Edge in class. While Guerrero turned pro before Guzman, it is the Dominican who has the impressive amateur credentials. This gave him a solid foundation, and he was boxing in 12 rounders only 1 year after turning pro.
Guzman is up against a guy who can be equally explosive. 23-year-old Armando Guerrero is willing to take a shot to land one. In fact, in his pro debut, which came after only 2 amateur fights, he had to get up off the deck in the 1st round, went on and won by KO. 13 of his 23 fights have been in his hometown of Austin, Texas, and all but 3 career bouts have taken place here in the Lone Star State. Armando Guerrero 17-2-4 with 10 KOs and riding a 10-fight winning streak. Steve, take us behind those numbers.
Armando Guerrero, who is the puncher in this fight? Guzman is supposed to be the harder hitter, but Guerrero scored 2 highlight film knockdowns of Adel Ruiz. His left hook is sneaky good. Stepping up, Guerrero has faced some tough fighters but no one who could be classified as world class. Guzman represents a big jump up in quality of opposition. And one-dimensional, in outworking most of his opponents, Guerrero is always crowding his man. But he's nowhere near as effective when boxing in ring center. Advantage Guzman.
That's the way it stacks up on paper. Now it's time to watch it play out on the ring here at the Sunset Station Pavilion in San Antonio, Texas. Joan Guzman is about to risk his perfect record against Armando Guerrero in a 10-round battle of junior featherweight fighters. Let's formally meet them both as we go up to ring announcer Tom Garcia.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Lone Star Pavilion at Sunset Station here in San Antonio, Texas, for an afternoon of professional boxing. Brought to you by Frank Warren Sports Network in association with Team South Boxing, Ursa Lopez Promotions, and Showtime. This bout is sanctioned by the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation. Dick Cole, Boxing Administrator, and Greg Alvarez, Assistant Boxing Administrator, in attendance. Introducing the judges appointed. Rick Croker from San Antonio, Texas. Roy Ovalle from San Antonio, Texas. Jerry Wright from El Paso, Texas. Timekeeper Mario Pastrano. Eusebio Easy Garcia. The referee for this bout, Rafael Ramos. This bout is scheduled for 10 rounds of boxing in the super bantamweight division. Presenting in the blue corner, wearing black trunks with gold trim, and entering this contest at a ready 121 1/2 pounds. He has a record of 17 wins, 2 losses, 4 draws. 10 wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome from Austin, Texas, Armando Guerrero. Guerrero. Fighting out of the red corner, entering the ring wearing gold trunks. He weighed in at a ready 123 pounds and has an unblemished professional record of 16 wins, no losses. 13 of those wins coming by way of knockouts. Please welcome from Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic, ranked number 2 super bantamweight contender by the WBO. Please welcome Joan Little Tyson Guzman. Guzman.
Okay, you receive the pre-fight instruction, recibiste las instrucciones. Protect yourself at all time, protégete todo el tiempo. Good luck, buena suerte, ¿ah?
Tail of the tape, Steve.
Very little to choose from, seemingly, in the numbers. Look at the weights, though. Guzman a little bigger. There was controversy at the weigh-in. We'll deal more with that and explain a little bit later.
And nothing different about the rules. 10-point must, 3 judges, no 3 knockdown rule, no standing 8, can't be saved by the bell. Only the referee can stop the fight, and the referee, Rafael Ramos, is ready to begin. Big thing, Steve, Joan Guzman, as we look at him in gold, new trainer Hector Roca. He's been with him 4 months, and they say you're going to see a new fighter here.
And in his previous effort on Showbox, he did start like a little Tyson, very fast. Let's see if, seems like he wants to do it again here.
Guerrero getting beaten back into the corner there as Guzman flicks the jab and tries to hit the power lanes, doubling the hook there. One thing about Guerrero, slow starter, Steve, he better be alert against this guy, and he better be punching if he's inside. Guerrero digs to the body again. Guerrero comes back there, firing the body. Guzman making the play there with a double hook, and then the right cross to the head. Guzman unleashing everything here. Guerrero firing back as they trade, stand and trade.
Guerrero right now a little bit overwhelmed. He's being backed up. And those are pretty vicious. They're wide left hooks to the body, but they're vicious left hooks by little Tyson.
That was the first shot that Guerrero had avoided. Finally moving his head to get away from a blast. Ramos, the referee, warning Guzman to keep the shots above the belt. Early stages of this fight, halfway through round one, Guerrero sails wide with his hook.
Guerrero's belly button is not showing, which means his trunks are a little high. That's going to make it a judgment call. There's another low punch by Guzman. It's going to make it a judgment call by the referee as to which shots are low. And there are going to be a lot of body punches in this fight.
Guzman was low again there as they stand again and blast away in the middle of the ring here. It's an 18-foot ring.
Don't hold it, don't hold it. No,
Steve,
no,
I
no,
see
no,
a Guzman who is different in the sense that I think he looks more relaxed. I thought he was expending a lot of needless energy on the card the 29th. They had a million excuses. He had the flu, his head butted. But he looks much composed, and he's not wasting anything.
Well, what I want to see, can he keep this attack up? Because he slowed up big time the first time he was on with us after a couple of rounds of doing this. Can he maintain and keep the pressure on, or will he drop back into boxing mode?
Now he's dropping back. Guerrero trying to take the play here, but he's got to work behind his jab. And it's Guzman up on his toes now, firing the jab. Last 15 seconds of this round. Guzman is looking pretty here. Off the ropes, a combination, and then a right counter that hits just before the bell, and that round in the bank.